Today we're going to be working on one of my favorite cars to work on. It's my '03 Mach 1 Mustang. I did a lot to this car. I ended up buying it from my neighbor. He had found it in someone's backyard during a demolition job, and I've been working on it through phases throughout the year. So I bought it in January, and it's actually the car that I started my YouTube channel for because I wanted to document all the progress from start to finish. It was the first car that I actually recorded progress, and it was in rough shape, and I'll show some pictures here, but look at, just to give an idea of what kind of a shape it was in, this is what I pulled off of the front. There were enough flame decals and stuff on this car to burst into flames. I'm surprised that it didn't spontaneously erupt into flames. So, my vision for the car has a lot to go on the inside, but it'll end with these. Let's go. I do not plan on reusing this net, and I'm not going to put my dome light in. I don't need a dome light. I don't need to see what I'm doing in this car, and I don't need sun visors. I like the sun in my eyes, and I don't need that net. I don't need sunglasses above my head. Don't electrocute yourself. Removing the interior, it wasn't hard, but you can see it's like this, just the cardboard was warped, and I swear it had like a fish stink to it, or maybe it was my imagination, but it had a funky smell in it. I don't know, maybe the previous owner was a trout, I don't know, but it had to go. The only frustrating part with the headliner removal was that there was this crazy glue, and it was so hard to get out, and I could have used a hammer and like a chisel thing, but I didn't want to risk denting the roof, so I decided to take my chances with a heat gun instead. And then the heat gun scared me because, well, A, it was like middle of August and extremely hot, but I wrapped my hood, so I was worried that it was gonna like bubble up. It didn't, thankfully, but after the whole glue was removed, then I can actually start laying down the sound deadening. I use Kilmat for pretty much the majority of the car. I'm a big proponent of Kilmat. I love that stuff. I think it's fantastic for the price. But somebody had mentioned to me on social media that I should use something more of quality, better quality for the roof, because it gets hot and you don't want to like risk it falling down. And I thought, you know what? As far-fetched as that might sound, it's, you know, I don't want to risk it, you know? So I don't remember what I bought. It was like either Boom Mat or Hush Mat. It was almost 3 times as much as my Kilmat, and I personally didn't, you know, notice a big difference in quality, especially like the adhesion of it, whatever. But so that's what I used in the roof, and that is what I used on all my doors. The doors are very rattly, so this really tightened everything up. And then the rest of the car sound deadening, you know, after I removed like all the plastic pieces and as much seat as possible, I use the Kilmat, and it's just time consuming, you know, and it's tedious. You got to keep rolling and make. I mean, there's no point if you don't like roll it down and get it really stuck. You're kind of defeating the purpose of the whole sound deadening. It's not gonna deaden as much. It's not gonna deaden as much sound. I'm deleting my rear seats, so I do not need seat belts, but darn it all, I wish I saved the nuts and the bolts. I realized there was a hole in the center of my pants as I was editing this video. Making sure to clean out all the junk and gunk and get the surface as clean as possible for the sound deadening material that I'm about to lay. And as I kept editing this video, I kept seeing this hole in my pants, so I tried to cover it up because the last thing I needed my video to get like banned or something on YouTube after all this hard work. Okay, so when I first started using this Kilmat, I got a lot of flack for it. The more I used it, the more I fell in love with it. It's such a bargain. It worked for me. I liked it just as much as the other more expensive stuff, and I did mix it up in the car. I am aware that this is cheap. The one that I'm using is the 80 mil. I got like 36 square feet for 70 bucks on Amazon. This is cheap. It's cheap. I'm not gonna lie, we all know this is cheap. This is not like the good stuff. The good stuff's on my door and on my most of my roof. This is value brand. And it's a value build. So sue me! They say that this stuff is sharp and to use gloves, and it is. I cut myself several times. I cut myself in that spot where, like, between your thumb and your pointer finger, you know that spot that's kind of like the hand equivalent to the corners of your mouth? That's typically where I would cut myself. So besides it being a little bit sharp, I got exhausted rolling the stuff. It is exhausting. I bought these rollers. They came in 4 different sizes. I got them from Amazon. And it's just a lot of like arm work out. And my arms are still flabby, even though I've been working them out installing sound deadening in my car. They're still not firm and tone. What the heck? It's ridiculous. I'm sure that there's a right way and a wrong way and a better way and a worse way to lay this stuff down. I didn't do any research, which is kind of different from how I usually operate. I just peeled and sticked and layered and had fun just laying it all down and overlapping it. It was honestly kind of therapeutic in a way. Family heirloom alert. This is the same plastic toolbox that my dad would take to pick apart. I have 2 of them, and they are the most convenient things that I own. And they remind me of my dad, and they've got his spray paint all over them. So once everything was just sound deadened up, my intention was to start painting right away. I toyed with the idea of purchasing a used black dashboard. I watched some videos on what the job entails to replace the dashboard. It didn't look that bad. I read some forums and people said it was a terrible job, but it really didn't look that bad. And LMR, like late model restoration, they have great videos on how to do it step by step. So that was the first option that I considered when converting this from this ugly charcoal gray to black. The unfortunate part was the lack of availability of these replacement dashboards. Now, I live in SoCal, and our pickup parts here, they're just pretty much full of like Toyotas and Hondas. You don't see these Mustangs, maybe like one every few months, and certainly the condition is not something that you know, go through the trouble of replacing your vehicle dashboard for one that's not even in better shape. They're cracked. You know, SoCal has the heat, so they crack pretty easily down here, especially those years. So I looked OfferUp, eBay, and I did find some really nice dashboards. They were like between $600 to $700. The big problem with that, I was fine spending the money with it if it looked good, which they did, but the shipping and handling was like another $400 or $500. So I thought to myself, I'm going to repair mine. So I'm going to repair it and I'm going to attempt to paint it. Worst case scenario, it comes out not good, and then I'll go get a new replacement dashboard. But at least this is like an alternative option from spending the money right away. You know, I can always replace it if it came out bad. So that's the route that I'm going to take. Since I'm taking that route, I'll have to tape off everything because I don't want to take the dashboard out and paint it in my garage. I think I can do, I've seen enough videos where people paint their dashboard inside their car and they come out pretty darn good. So just taping everything off and removing all the plastic pieces. So this is truly like the interior takedown. Very exciting. It's always like feels therapeutic to like take things out and replace them and clean them. So yeah, it shall soon be black. Blue tape and the green tape sticks a little bit better than this tan tape, but I'm happy I used this tan tape because it ended up sitting in my car for a lot longer than I anticipated because the weather got so hot and humid actually in between my shoots, so I couldn't paint in humidity. It wasn't gonna work, and I was gonna be setting myself up for a disaster, so I worked on other projects in between. And I have to take out basically all the plastic pieces, the air vents, this lower bezel thing. One thing that was kind of annoying, and I couldn't reuse a lot of the plastic pieces like the air vents that you see because the previous owner had that plastic billet stuff all over. So you could see the frames on the air vents. Those you can't paint on them because the paint just scratches right off no matter what. You'd have to like sand them and then the finish wouldn't be right. And then when you go to take off those plastic overlays, they either rip off into pieces or they'll break the plastic part itself, or they leave such strong adhesive there's really no effective way to get it off other than like sanding down the plastic. I'm saying this because I tried so hard and I actually ruined a lot of things just trying to get those plastic overlays off. So I did have to end up buying new air vents and a few new pieces. There it goes. That's one that was really badly broken on the inside, but it had to be done, so it's okay. This glove box, this comes off. You got to remove that, obviously. I just wanted to paint everything as well as possible, even though I was like kind of taking a shortcut, I guess you could say, by not removing the entire dashboard. I got all my plastic stuff off so I can start painting after I fix the dash, but I made a lot of good progress. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe so you'll never miss the progress on this bad boy right here. The next video that we see, we'll be doing all the painting, so the prep work, and then eventually we'll start reassembling everything. And it's getting new seats and a harness bar and, new seat belts and all that stuff. I cannot wait. It's gonna be so awesome. Wow, lots of good stuff coming up. So again, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'm already getting that. I'm already starting to think like what my next project car would be. I still have like the Bentley, I still have some there's some stuff to do, but it's not like, you know, like this was like a real project car. You know, the Bentley's more like, it's like been neglected, and nobody wants to watch Bentley videos apparently. So I gotta just get that done and figure that out. The next project car though that I'm thinking about, I'm really leaning towards a 5th gen Camaro, an SS. So I'll be on the lookout for that, and if it's meant to be, then I'll see it in my hometown, Santa Clarita. I love buying cars in Santa Clarita because the people here like baby them so much. You buy like a used, you know, 2000 whatever 10 Camaro in like Downey, it's probably had 87 different owners, odometer rolled back, and you can bet it's been like raced to death. You buy a car in Santa Clarita, it belongs to maybe a dude that had like a midlife crisis, and he bought his like dream race car or whatever, and then he, you know, he drove it a couple times and then parked it in the garage. There were so many of those, you just gotta wait them out. So I'll be waiting. If you're in Santa Clarita and you want to sell your 5th gen Camaro that you've been babying, DM me. I don't have the money to buy it, so I'll pay you in, I don't know, Chuck E. Cheese tokens? Does that work? So anyways, thank you.